Hey guys, this is the newest episode of Two Brothers Review. This one's going to be a little bit different from what you're used to. We're not doing like a numerically ranked thing for this one. We're just going to talk about villains we love to hate.
Just our own personal opinions.
Yeah. For this one, we did put in a couple rules. So, our first rule was one per franchise.
That was tough.
Yeah. And we kind of were flexible with that one because by one per franchise, we don't mean just one Marvel villain. We mean like one X-Men villain, one Spider-Man villain, and so on.
So we gave ourselves a little bit of variety.
Yeah, and we counted Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, all separate series. And we bent our rule a little from the Disney animated canon because even though that's like one thing, there's 57 movies, they don't really all fit together, so we allowed for 2 Disney villains.
Changed one of mine. I don't remember. Anyway.
Yeah, so we'll each give a villain, and if we have the same villain, we'll just off each other, and if we don't, then we'll let just the one monologue about it. Okay, so Tanner, I'll let you begin.
All
Give me
right.
your first villain.
So the first villain I think we all have to talk about is the big baddie himself, Thanos.
Thanos is on mine.
Thanos he's iconic now.
Yes.
He is the most iconic villain in modern movie history right now. With the Infinity Saga just coming to an end with Endgame, how perfectly done it was. Josh Brolin played Thanos so well from his debut in Guardians of the Galaxy to his finale in Endgame. It was outstanding. It was just fun to watch. Thanos, his motives, I can kind of see it, kind of. Wipe out half the universe, there wouldn't be so much traffic in LA. So I see where he's coming from, but nonetheless, Thanos is awesome. He's just awesome.
And I just want to build off what you said when we get into comic book Thanos. So what he did in the comics was even more extensive than what we've seen in Infinity War.
Oh,
he has a lot more history in that. Whereas in the movies, he's just this Malthusian guy who's thinking he's going to save everyone by killing half of them, also will use up all the resources. Earth 616 Thanos is trying to impress Death, so he wipes out half the universe to try and win the love of Mistress Death. And
yeah.
There's just so much to love about Thanos, especially once you have the Infinity Gauntlet, you're basically God and can do what you want.
Exactly.
Well, what happens when you give a sadist the power of God? Well, you get what Thanos is.
Exactly. You can just snap and boom, everybody's gone. Well, half of everybody.
Okay.
You go next.
Magneto.
Did I have Magneto? I think I had. Oh no, I do have Magneto on my list.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think what makes Magneto such a great villain is he's not evil for the sake of being evil, right? He's not like I'm evil, I'm going to rule the world. No, he's a Holocaust survivor who doesn't want what happened to the mutants
Doesn't want what happened to him to happen to mutants.
Yeah, he doesn't want what happened to the Jews to happen to mutants. So it's he's basically Malcolm X as opposed to Xavier being Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And that dynamics, they've really played off each other so well throughout the comic history. And not to mention, Magneto's powers are really, when you get down to it,
they're unique. They are very, very unique.
They are. And more than that, when you think about how much untapped potential he has, I know because Science did a great video on Magneto's hidden powers that he hasn't used it, but what he could do based on his powers, and there was lots of cool stuff in that. I'll go ahead and put a card up here for you guys to watch that episode. But yeah, Magneto's untapped power is truly amazing because magnetism, well, his power of magnetism, that could extend to the whole electromagnetic spectrum. So, he could basically, if you want to, sever the gravitational connection of New York City to Earth and send it into space if you want. So,
exactly.
He's super powerful, has a unique motivation, really humanizes him. I just think again, probably my favorite character in all of X-Men, not just my favorite X-Men villain.
Any portrayal of him in live action has been outstanding. Ian McKellen did it. Michael Fassbender is a perfect Magneto. He plays the role so well, which we've talked about so many times. And he's just awesome. Stay tuned for our X-Men video. Coming soon.
And I absolutely love X-Men animated series Magneto. he was just really well done in that show.
Oh, absolutely. That's just that original animated series was just outstanding.
Yes. So yeah, my guy Magneto.
All right, I'm gonna bounce around on my list. I'm not just gonna go straight down. I'm gonna bounce around. One I'm gonna get out of the way because I doubt you have them is I have Light Yagami from Death Note.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
So I'm talking about the anime. I'm not talking about the movie because that movie was garbage. They portrayed Light Yagami so bad. They portrayed him as like some scared kid. So Ryuk, who's a Shinigami, who's basically a god of death. In the anime, Light Yagami meets him. He gets the Death Note, and he just is so straight up with him, and he has this power in this book to do anything he wants. He just can write the name. They're dead. Writes down how they die, and he can do it in the future. He can make it happen right then and there, and it's just the way it's done. I mean, you could see him as a villain. I kind of see him as a villain, but I like Light Yagami. I think he's really, really cool. I just really don't like how they portrayed him in the live-action Death Note movie.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with one I think you might have forgotten about, not on your list. Myotismon.
I didn't think about. I totally forgot about Digimon.
Yeah,
I don't have any Digimon.
yeah. I love Myotismon. He is just the Digimon villain. I mean, yeah, Devmon was good and everything. You know, Edamon was
Myotismon is like,
but
Myotismon
was the one because like Devmon. How did he prove to be innocent of violence? Well, he used Black Years to brainwash other Digimon to fight the Digidestin. Edamon, yeah, he kind of had his own little army, but it wasn't really that much of a threat to the real war. Whereas Myotismon, he built his own army without having to brainwash people, and then he not only is a threat to digital war, he comes into the real world and invade Japan. And then after all the awesomeness we see from him in the first season, you know, from being this major villain, you know, he kills Wizardmon, and what a great heartbreaking scene that was, and that epic fight that one of my favorite battles ever is the battle between everyone against Myotismon at the, you know, before he was killed by Anjuwon.
What's his name when he comes back and through the building? Malo Myotismon?
Yeah, first he comes back as Venom Myotismon.
Venom Myotismon.
Yeah.
Malo Myotismon is in season 2.
Yeah, and then, because like all the awesome stuff in the first season versus Myotismon, then it's Venom Myotismon, and then we get to the end of season 2 and we find out that the Digimon Emperor, you know, Oikawa and Arukenimon, they were all being manipulated by Myotismon. Everything was done so that he could return and take over both worlds again. You know, He's just such a great villain. I love Myotismon. Excellent villain.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. All right. I think I'm gonna have to go with another one. Well, I can guarantee we both have on our list from Dragon Ball Z, the big baddie himself, Frieza.
Yep, Frieza is on my list.
We have to talk about Frieza.
Yes.
This guy is the villain of Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Every series except for the main Dragon Ball, he's in it. He's in GT for those few episodes. He becomes such a big factor in the Tournament of Power, and he's over like Namek Saga, Ginyu Saga, Frieza Saga. He comes back in the Trunks Saga. I mean,
and not only that,
he's ruthless.
And who's Cell made from? Partly from Frieza's cells. You know, and they compare Cell to Frieza. You know, so that was Frieza's attack. You know, all that stuff. And then even with Boo, they compare him to how powerful he was compared to Frieza. Every villain after gets compared to Frieza
because of how strong Frieza was. This man pushed Goku to his absolute limits until, well, we all know how Dragon Ball Super is. But this man, he's just ruthless. He is absolutely ruthless. I love Frieza.
Committed more genocides than the Ottoman Empire.
Exactly.
You know,
he's just...
You know, Emperor of the Universe, right? You know, his vast empire and what he had to do to build it and how many species he's wiped out, you know. What more could you ask for in a super powerful villain, right?
Exactly. He's just Frieza.
Yeah, cold, ruthless, totalitarian mass murderer, you know. He's Hitler, but in space.
And how they reintroduced him in Dragon Ball Super Broly was just awesome.
Yes.
His intro into that movie was just awesome. Just, like I say, ruthless. Sees the guards in tower, pew, 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 pew. Ah, love Frieza.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he was just such a he was just a pivotal part in the Tournament of Power right there at the end. Something you never thought. You see, if you had told me 10 years ago that Frieza and Goku were going to be teaming up to save the universe, I would have been like, "You're crazy."
Mm-hmm. And what makes it work is because Frieza's not doing this out of any altruism or anything. It's selfishness. I'm the one who wants to rule the universe. So if that goes right out, then I go right out. But he's not because he cares about anyone. It's because he wants the universe for himself.
Exactly.
Yes. So
gets revived by Whis and the man who can do anything. Yeah. So yeah, Frieza.
Yes. All hail Emperor Frieza.
All hail Emperor Frieza.
Okay. You might have this one, or you might have picked someone else from the series. I'm going with the pretty cliche, but Green Goblin.
I picked Green Goblin.
Specifically Norman Osborn.
I did pick Green Goblin.
Okay. So, let's just talk about everything that Norman Osborn has done to Peter Parker in his life. He killed Gwen Stacy, Peter's first real love.
Mm-hmm.
He had his associates cause the stillborn birth of Peter's child, and then have one of his associates kidnap said child and was never seen again. Probably killed that. He was behind the whole clone mess. He was the one who convinced that Peter that he was the clone, and Ben Reilly was the original Peter Parker, even though they weren't. And the final proof of that was in their final battle against Osborn when Ben Reilly died and crumbled in the dust, proving that he was the clone. But yeah, Norman Osborn was the one who tormented Peter Parker throughout his whole life in a way no other villain was able to. Mm-hmm. I know at the beginning, Dr. Octopus was kind of Peter's big nemesis, Spider-Man's arch enemy, killing George Stacy and all that, but Goblin really stepped it up, and he just became the Spider-Man villain.
He is the Spider-Man villain, absolutely. Sam Raimi's trilogy, that was the very first villain was Green Goblin, and Willem Dafoe was a perfect Green Goblin. Mm-hmm. I loved his portrayal of Green Goblin.
Yes.
His motives, the company going bankrupt and everything. He's a great villain all around. He really, really is.
And then not just as a Green Goblin, but even just as
a person.
Yeah, as a person himself. Like when he later gets elected president and everything, and becomes Iron Patriot, forms his own Dark Avengers and all that. He's just done so much damage in the Marvel universe. He is just, he is the Spider-Man villain, and also just a great villain in general. Yes, Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin.
I agree. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go with Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, not one on mine.
So, Kaiba, he was there from the very beginning. Yugi's ultimate rival. And everybody knows Yu-Gi-Oh! Seto Kaiba, the heir to the Kaiba Corp throne. I love Kaiba. I always thought he was so cool.
Yeah, I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh fan like my brother is. I was kind of older when it started coming out. He was real into it, so I kind of know about it. And Kaiba was the one I really liked from that show.
Kaiba, just like his demeanor, like he's just like that I don't care kind of person. Mm-hmm. Like I really like Seto Kaiba.
Screw the rules. I have money.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and I always enjoyed what he had in his deck, especially Blue Eyes.
Blue Eyes. I had so many Blue Eyes White Dragons.
Yeah, so
Seto Kaiba.
Yeah, and again, not one on my list because I again wasn't really into Yu-Gi-Oh like he was, but I do appreciate Kaiba and would agree. I'm putting him on a list of good villains. I might consider him an honorable mention.
There you go. All right.
All right. I'm gonna skip around like you're doing. I'm gonna throw out Megatron from Beast Wars.
From Beast Wars. Okay.
Yes.
I just had him from the Transformers movies, but I do have a Megatron on there.
Okay, so we each have a Megatron, but mine's the Beast Wars one.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Predacon Megatron. If for no other reason, the Beast Wars episode, the best Beast Wars episode, I don't care what you say, it is Code of Hero, and that's the one where Dinobot sacrifices himself to save humanity by protecting humans' early ancestors. Megatron was planning to kill so that the Decepticons would win the war against the Autobots. Because without the humans, C-figures, the Autobots never would have won, and the Decepticons would have...
I forgot about that series, Beast Wars.
Yeah, and I love Beast Wars even more than the regular Transformers. Yeah, Beast Wars, I was way into Beast Wars,
Beast Wars
when I was younger. So
little dinosaurs. Who doesn't like dinosaurs? Come on.
And so that episode where he basically kills Dinobot, that alone, that was such a great episode, and that alone puts Megatron on the list. But I just like his demeanor. I like his transformation modes. I just consider Beast Wars Megatron, one of my favorite villains.
All right, so my Megatron I have from the Transformers films to the Transformers series. I've always liked Megatron. I've always thought he was cool. The visuals in the movies were always so cool. They just couldn't live up to their hype. I love Megatron. Is to rule the world, basically, just like everything you said. Rise of the Fallen was such a good movie. That's probably my favorite one out of the entire. I love the Linkin Park music. Rest in peace, Chester Bennington. Just an awesome villain. And the Autobot. I love the Transformers movies. I didn't see The Last Night.
Yeah, we don't talk about The Last Night. Nobody saw it because we all heard how it was, so nobody bothered to.
We don't talk about The Last Night. We don't talk about Finn Forstick.
Yep. All right.
And Megatron. That's Megatron.
Okay. You probably have this one. Shao Kahn.
I do have Shao Kahn. The big baddie of Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Forget Shinnok being an Elder God and all that. Shao Kahn is the Mortal Kombat villain.
Shao Kahn is the Mortal Kombat villain. Since Mortal Kombat 2, when he was introduced, he's almost immortal.
Basically, yeah. And when you consider how many souls this guy has consumed to keep himself alive for
God knows how long.
Yes, it's thousands of years. I mean, at least gotta be more than 10,000 because Katana herself is 10,000 years old and she was too young to remember when her father was killed by Shao Kahn. Yeah. So, he's been there for quite a long time. He's not just super powerful. I mean, as anyone who's tried to fight him in game knows.
Mortal Kombat 9.
My God. Whereas his X-ray alone does 80% damage, because it doesn't count the initial first hit from the hammer. It just says 52% damage, but the 30% damage from the freaking hammer he throws at you. So not just super powerful. Also skilled with magic, powerful sorcerer, superior even to Shang Tsung.
Yes.
And very intelligent, very cunning. He knew he couldn't take on Onaga head on when he wanted to usurp the throne, so he poisoned him using. So he's intelligent. He's crafty as well.
Yeah, he's very, very smart. And I loved his rebirth in Mortal Kombat 11. I thought the helmet looked kind of stupid, but I love Mortal Kombat 11. It's probably my favorite Mortal Kombat game, honestly, up to this point. Shao Kahn, one of the most powerful beings in all of Mortal Kombat. He's so well known throughout the world. Mortal Kombat, just one of the most gruesome video games of all time. Just so brutal and just so awesome. And
Shao Kahn being one of the most brutal and awesome of those characters. The Mortal Kombat. Again, yeah, Shinnok's a fallen elder god, but really, who considers Shinnok to be, the Mortal Kombat villain, right?
I mean, Johnny Cage beat Shinnok.
Yeah,
let's be realistic.
When you think of Mortal Kombat antagonist, it's Shao Kahn,
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go back to the Dragon Ball lore and do Piccolo Daimao.
I have Piccolo Daimao.
King Piccolo. Yep. This guy was. I almost put Piccolo Jr., but Piccolo Jr. wasn't a villain. And
right, he reformed too much to be considered.
I really had to think.
That's why I didn't have Vegeta, because Vegeta basically becomes
biggest character development in any history ever.
Yeah. So
I really had to put a lot of thought into the Dragon Ball villains, and King Piccolo was the only one that really stood out to me.
Well, yeah, this has been the series changes.
Yeah,
where before it'd be kind of a comedy thing with a little bit of action thrown in here. This saga opens up with a main character, Krillin, being killed, and what a major change that means for Goku in his life.
And then Roshi dies trying to seal King Piccolo back with the Mafuba, and Tenshinhan.
Tenshinhan doesn't die, he makes it up, but Chaozu is killed.
Chaozu is killed by King Piccolo. And Goku, he's Goku. He doesn't kill people. This dude just dragon fists him right through the chest to avenge his fallen friend, which he learns how to sense chi through Korin. And
what he has to go through to be strong enough to beat Piccolo with the Super Wad and everything.
It's incredible.
So that, I agree. Piccolo Daimao, huge watershed moment for this series. Everything changes from this point forward. The tone, everything. He is an iconic villain.
It really sets up Dragon Ball Z.
It does. It really shows you where the series is going from this point on.
So it was just, I love King Piccolo.
Yeah, he takes over the world. He's the only Dragon Ball that actually takes over the world.
And then gets killed.
Yeah, he does get killed, but he did oust the king and was in power briefly.
He did. Killed Shenron.
He did. He killed Shenron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who you got next?
Next, let's see. I'll go another one I don't think you'll have. Vladimir Makarov from the Call of Duty Modern Warfare trilogy.
I do not have Makarov.
Yeah. So, Makarov. This is the guy who basically brought about World War III.
Mm-hmm.
One guy did that. I mean, his first major active before we weren't introduced to him yet, but later it showed us he was working behind the scenes. He was the one who detonated the nuke in Call of Duty 4. That what a major surprise that was when you're playing through Call of Duty 4, and then all of a sudden this nuke goes off and your character dies. You're like, what just happened? That was a major surprise in that game, and Call of Duty 4 probably might be my favorite Call of Duty ever. I mean, I love the whole Modern Warfare trilogy, but I think 4 is kind of special. But man, Vladimir Makarov, what he did with the massacre at the airport to bring America and Russia into war and all the events of that. And then how he basically, when Russia's trying to make peace, he kidnaps the president of Russia and all that. And then the final showdown between him and Price in Modern Warfare, I think it shows you don't have to have superpowers to be a supervillain,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Makarov, he's I consider him top baddie.
All right. Awesome. I like that. I'm going to go with one that you may not have. I'm going to go with Xehanort from the Kingdom Hearts series.
Yeah, I don't have Xehanort.
Xehanort, this guy. Kingdom Hearts 3 was so fun to play through.
Mm-hmm.
And rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy, one of the original Xehanorts. And Birth by Sleep?
I think it was Birth by Sleep.
Birth by Sleep. There's so many copies of them. And if you go through the Honest Game trailers, there's like Xehanort's nobody, Ansem, who's Xehanort's heartless, and then Xemnas, who's also Donald Duck is there. He's just an awesome villain. Like, there's young Xehanort, and Kingdom Hearts isn't over.
Right.
It's far from over. They're just getting started, but 13-year wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 was so worth it, and I love Xehanort. He's just an awesome villain.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to stick to our Disney theme. I'm going to roll out the first of my 2 Disney villains, Frollo.
Okay, from Hunchback.
Yes, I consider Frollo to be the single most evil Disney villain. If you want to read more, I'll link to my Disney blog where I've reviewed all the films. So everything I've said about Frollo there pretty much covers my feelings about him. Basically...
You helped me write a paper all about Frollo almost.
Yeah, he's a self-righteous religious hypocrite, uses the power of the government to persecute people, explaining genocide. I mean, I consider Frollo to be, again, the most evil of the Disney villains, and with good reasons. So, again, I'll link to my blog so you can read my thoughts about Frollo, but yeah, for me, Frollo was top Disney animated villain.
I did not have Frollo, but I do have one of my Disney villains, Scar.
I have Scar too.
Scar is, let's be specific here, Jeremy Irons Scar, not the other guy that we saw last night. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. But Jeremy Irons played the role so well. Scar was ruthless. He was funny, he was ruthless. Be Prepared is probably one of my favorite songs.
Cunning mastermind with this whole plot with the hyenas to
absolutely.
Mufasa.
Yeah, absolutely. And the death scene of Mufasa, he
kills his own brother.
Doesn't even hesitate. Grabs him by the claws, just long live the king. And just throws him. No hesitation. Cold as ice. I love Scar. One of my favorite Disney villains ever.
Okay. Let's see. Where should I go now? You may or may not have Dr. Robotnik.
Oh, I totally forgot about Robotnik.
You forgot Robotnik from Sonic?
I did forget about Robotnik.
Okay. Then that's interesting because I think he might actually be a bigger Sonic fan than I am, especially post Dreamcast.
Damn, yeah. Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, the Sonic villain, Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik, not Eggman.
Yeah. Dr. Io Robotnik, henceforth known as Dr. Eggman when they decide to merge America and Japan storylines. So... yeah, the guy's been there from the beginning, kidnapping the animals, turning them into robots, all those cool machines, so much fun to fight as a kid,
Yeah.
I just have a special place in my heart for Dr. Robotnik from what was one of my favorite video game series before Sega decided to pull out of the console game and became a third-party developer, and things just haven't been the same for Sonic since Adventure 2. I mean... I hear Generations was pretty good.
Oh, Generations was such a fun game.
Yeah, I didn't actually play for it, but I watched you play from some of it, and it did seem to be like
it's probably one of my favorite Sonic games in the modern era.
Yeah,
Sonic Colors was cool, but Sonic Generations is probably my favorite modern Sonic game.
I mean, he built the Death Egg. It's a Death Star reference in Sonic.
Oh, absolutely.
What more could you want from a guy, right?
Absolutely. No, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes. Dr. Ivo Robotnik, Eggman.
Alright, hold on. My phone's acting up. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go with a funny one. I have Prince Charming from Shrek.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do have Prince Charming from Shrek. This guy was a complete just jerk. Just is pompous, whatever he is. Fools Fiona into thinking that he's Shrek, just so he can become a king. Oh, Mary, look at that ogre. Get out of here with that. And Fairy Godmother just being horrible. He's just a funny character.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, real OGs will remember this. Far, Far Away Idol. And Prince Charming singing that he's too sexy for his shirt.
Yes.
You can't... I just wanted to throw a funny one in there.
Yeah.
I had to.
Okay. Let's see. Let's take things a little bit cosmic here with Darth Sidious.
I have Palpatine as well.
Okay.
I put him down as Palpatine, not Sidious.
Okay. Sheev Palpatine, Darth Sidious, the Emperor.
Rise of Skywalker. I'm so excited for Rise of Skywalker and his return.
Yeah. We all love Darth Vader and everything, but remember, there wouldn't be a Darth Vader without Palpatine.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the way he manipulated everything with his rise to power, this being this Dark Lord of Sith in secret, I mean, you hide from the whole entire Jedi Council when you're right there in front of their face. That takes something to do, right?
And it takes somebody who was just discovered on Tatooine, a no-name planet, to realize, oh, you're the evil Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just an awesome character, especially in the prequel. I know the prequels get a lot of hate, but excuse me, Ian McDiarmid played fantastic the role.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so well done.
And he's not only a scheme manipulator, where most of his evil comes from, where everything he did to get to where he is, and how he basically rules through others through the political power. But when it comes to it, he can fight.
He can fight, and that was
he held his own against Mace Windu after killing 3 other Jedi.
Episode 3 was just awesome. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite of the prequel trilogy.
I mean, he beat Yoda.
He did beat Yoda,
the Grandmaster of the Jedi Council.
Jedi. Just an awesome villain.
And then, see how Sidious was with how he tortures Luke in Return of the Jedi. That whole scene with the Force lightning.
He's just ruthless.
He is.
Absolutely ruthless.
So yes. Hail Emperor Palpatine.
Hail Emperor Palpatine. Alright. Let's shift gears a little bit. I know you just shift gears to Cosmic. I'm going to shift it back to something different. And you have to have him. Lord Voldemort.
Actually, that's not who I picked from Harry Potter.
Really?
Yes, I picked someone else from Harry Potter.
Okay. So I picked Lord Voldemort, he who must not be named. Did you pick Malfoy or something?
No, you'll see. I'll do that next. We'll talk about Voldemort, then I'll get my Harry Potter one.
Okay, so Voldemort, he's the guy. Like, he's been trying. That's mainly the whole series of Harry Potter. He's trying to kill Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. He was in Philosopher's Stone on the back of his head. Mm-hmm. It was Tom Riddle in Chamber of Secrets. Man, I think he kind of goes away for a minute in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban is the only Harry Potter book and movie without Voldemort.
Yeah, and then he comes back in Goblet of Fire. I love Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, he's so evil, he turned Cedric Diggory into Edward Cullen.
Yes, he did. And then just Deathly Hallows. Those are probably the best movies in the entire cinematic Harry Potter world. Mm-hmm. And he's just evil. Just like I said, most of these villains that we name are just ruthless. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, powerful dark wizard, masters truly evil magic. And what you have to do to create a Horcrux is you have to kill someone in order to create a Horcrux. He murders without cause. I mean,
you have Snape. Yours is Snape.
Yep. Nope. Committing one Horcrux is bad enough, but he makes 7 of them, so he has to kill 7 people.
Kill 7 people.
And that's just to create the Horcrux, and that's not counting all the other people he's killed and that his followers have killed, and how he uses the Cruciatus curse like it's nothing, painful torture, yeah. Mm-hmm. Voldemort is absolutely evil. But to be a little different, because I figured people were expecting Voldemort, I picked Dolores Umbridge.
Dolores Umbridge.
Yes, that evil Toad woman. Because that evil teacher you had that you couldn't like, that's Dolores Umbridge, and everything she does to Harry, calling him a liar, even though Harry was there when Voldemort was brought back, and
She was in
she was
Order of the Phoenix.
Yes, and she was just so nasty, so unlikable. Her torture pen that she uses for detentions, I must not tell lies, and bleeds out of his hand, so that it permanently scars over. So he has that's his other scar. So, yeah, Dolores Umbridge, absolutely evil. Again, Voldemort's the main baddie, but I put Umbridge just because I want to be a little bit different.
Okay. Let's see another one that you might have the same as I. Let's go back to Dragon Ball, and I have Omega Shenron from GT.
I had him, but I swapped him out for someone else.
Okay. Omega Shenron, was like the main villain in GT. He was the ultimate baddie.
Mm-hmm.
Goku and Vegeta had to fuse, which Vegeta hates fusing with Goku. Mm-hmm. He hates anything about Goku.
Yep.
And to beat him, and they just beat the living snot out of him until they can't anymore, until they defuse after 15 minutes, because they're so powerful that they can't sustain it. And he's just... I like Omega Shenron. I think he's just awesome. His character design, the way he is. I just think Omega Shenron is awesome.
Yeah, he was, for what was at the time the end of Dragon Ball, he was a decent villain to end it. I agree with that. Especially, again, from going to, once he absorbs the other power of the other Dragon Balls and becomes Omega Shenron, absolutely. Super powerful villain. And we talked about how we love Frieza, and he was created from the wish to bring everyone killed by Frieza back to life, so he has that connection to our favorite Dragon Ball, your baddie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and give my last Dragon Ball villain, Zamasu.
Do you not have a GT?
I don't have a GT.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have Zamasu / Goku Black.
Yeah.
He's the only real villain in Super.
Right. But he's a good one.
Other than Frieza, which we already talked about Frieza.
Hmm.
So.
But yeah.
I like Zamasu.
I did. I thought it was interesting. He's basically trying to become a god, and then decides, I'm
going to commit mass genocide on everything.
Yeah, because mortals screw up at everything, so I'm just going to kill them all so they won't screw up. It sounds good in theory.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a Thanos type logic. But yeah, I found him to be a pretty good villain. It makes himself immoral, and to beat him, you have to erase the whole entire timeline.
Exactly.
So, yeah, pretty powerful, and
I like
the fight he gave against Trunks and everything.
I was gonna say, I like how
Vegeta Blue.
I like how they brought back Trunks. I love that arc.
Even though there's a lot they did with that that made it not make sense, but we won't talk about that in this. We might do a separate episode on Dragon Ball's screwed up timeline. But
yeah, but no, Zamasu was just such an awesome villain. Like, even at the end, when Trunks slices him in half, he still comes back and becomes the universe itself in that timeline. So the only way to defeat him was through Grand Zeno, the Omni King. So Zamasu was just, like you said, he's an awesome villain. Awesome Dragon Ball villain. Really the only Dragon Ball villain in Dragon Ball Super. Because if you look at the Tournament of Power, there's no villain. It's a tournament.
Right.
Jiren's just strong.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Bison from Street Fighter.
I have Bison from Street Fighter.
Alright, Bison from Street Fighter.
Yes, the Street Fighter villain.
This guy was just awesome. His psycho powers. I can't even remember his motives right now off the top of my head.
World domination.
Or other than world domination. It's just so powerful. Just ruthless. And I remember the one animated episode. It's like, you killed my father. Oh, you killed my father too. Yes, I killed your fathers. I killed my father too. You don't hear me whining about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even care.
No. And trying to fight him, especially Final Bison in Alpha 3, and you only have one chance to do it, and if you don't, then it's game over and you have to start over. I mean, he's a true villain, been there since Street Fighter 2, always, and he has spare bodies, so destroy him once like Akuma did at Street Fighter 2. Well, he comes back to Street Fighter 4 with a new body.
Yep.
Got blown up, Alpha 3 comes back in Street Fighter 2 with his new body. So, and then all the screwed up stuff about like how he completely purged all the good part of his soul. That's what Rose is. Rose is just the good part of Bison's soul. He completely purged it out of him. And then how Cammy's a specially engineered female clone of his because he wanted his next body to be a 16-year-old girl for whatever reason. Got issues there. Arms selling drugs, all that good evil stuff that makes a good villain. Yeah. Bison from Street Fighter. I agree. I had Bison.
I can't even remember who played him in the movie, but he was the saving grace. He was the saving grace of that god-awful Street Fighter movie.
Oh, Raul Julia?
Yes. Yeah. He was the saving grace of that god-awful Street Fighter movie. His portrayal of Bison was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. How sad that his last role was in such a poorly movie.
Terrible movie.
But he knew what it was. He was the only one who understood this is complete garbage, so I'm just going to overact the crap out of it.
Yep.
And it worked.
Change the channel.
Okay. So,
your turn.
Charles Montgomery Burns.
From The Simpsons?
From The Simpsons. Yes.
You consider him a villain?
He's the closest thing The Simpsons has to a villain, and he is just...
What about Sideshow Bob?
Yeah, but... I love killing Aaron, but Burns is the one who always has the big schemes that threatens everybody, whereas Sideshow Bob is mostly just trying to kill Bart.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but Burns... he's evil, but he's hilarious as well, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I love how the Springfield Republican Party is him and Rich Texan and Dr. Hibbert and Count Dracula, and they live in this dark castle on the edge of a mountain. There's always lightning and everything, and they come up with their schemes there. I just love Mr. Burns, He has the great "See My Vest" song. Who doesn't love "See My Vest"? Yes. And then when he tries to be good, he's even more evil, as Lisa pointed out, with the whole recycling thing. Sews all the six-pack things together to create a net to sweep everything out of the sea and grind all the animals into little slur.
Crazy.
So yeah, Mr. Burns for my favorite Simpsons villain.
Okay. I'm gonna shift back to Marvel here. Okay. I picked another Marvel one, and I'm picking Hela from Thor.
Okay.
Hela. I didn't really know about Thor,
mm-hmm.
so I'm just going kind of based off the movies. And Hela, she's powerful as hell.
Yep.
Cate Blanchett did a fantastic job portraying her. She's worthy of holding Mjolnir. Obviously, she destroyed it.
Mm.
Thor can't beat her, so they have to completely do Ragnarok to kill Hela.
Mm.
And she's just so powerful. She's the firstborn of Odin, and nobody knew about her for so long, and then she just comes out of nowhere.
Mm.
And it's just so powerful. Like I said, Cate Blanchett did a fantastic job of playing her.
Mm. Well, she single-handedly destroyed almost the entire Valkyrie army.
Exactly.
One escaped. And like I said, destroys Mjolnir, this super powerful hammer. How much power you have to do that? They have to call in Surtur to destroy the planet to beat her, because as long as she's on Asgard, the more powerful she gets.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Hela's a great villain.
Hela's a fantastic villain.
Yeah, one I did not have. Well, since we're doing Thor villains, I'll bring up Loki.
I really thought about Loki, but he just goes back and forth with me.
Yeah. Yeah. God of Mischief, Thor's adopted brother.
He's adopted.
He's adopted. He killed 8 people in 2 days, so yeah.
He's adopted.
He's adopted. Yeah. Loki, especially MCU Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston so well.
Oh, he's
one of the best MCU villains.
So well known.
He's just
Loki.
awesome.
Everybody knows Loki does 2 things:
die or steal the Tesseract.
He does 2 things. Everybody loves him though.
Yes,
he's hilarious.
He is hilarious. He is cunning.
He was a true villain in the Avengers movie, the first Avengers movie. He was a true villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way when he did the Hawkeye, how that scarred Hawkeye forever.
Mm-hmm.
The mind control thing. But I also get why you were hesitant to put him on, because he's also proven an ally as much as an antagonist in the MCU, so I get that. But let's not forget that in Earth 616, the whole reason the Avengers were formed was to stop Loki.
That's very true.
And I guess in kind of in the movies as well, even though the initiative was there before, but it got realized because of the threat from Loki. So
yeah.
So yeah.
All right. This one might throw you off. Evil Morty. Rick and Morty.
I considered putting Evil Morty, but I didn't.
I'm putting Evil Morty. This kid is just balls to the wall. I'm so excited to see what they're going to do with him in Season 4 if they incorporate him, which I think they have to. He completely takes over the Citadel of Ricks, which a Morty has never done before. Mm. And just his theme music, it's my ringtone. His theme song is my ringtone. I love it. Like, I love him. He's just so awesome. I'll find it later. He is in that one episode where he has the patch on his eye. I was just like, all right, Morty with the patch. And then his music starts playing. And then in the Rick Landis mix-up, he comes back and wins the election.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. And then at the end, his theme song plays and you see all the photos in space. And I'm just so excited to see what they're going to do with Evil Morty.
Mm-hmm. He is the Rickest Morty.
He is the Rickest Morty. And then Slow Rick is the Mortiest Rick.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me see. Do you have Ganon from Legend of Zelda?
I have Ganondorf/Ganon.
Okay, so. Yeah. The Zelda villain.
The Zelda villain. This giant pig dude is awesome. And I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now. So I like it so far. I haven't really gotten to play it because I work.
Yep.
And it's just a fun... He's an awesome villain. Ocarina of Time is arguably one of the greatest video games of all time.
Yes.
And the way that they did Ganondorf and Ganon was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The final fight with Ganon, it's probably my favorite boss battle ever. And world domination, yet again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's legendary.
He is.
He is absolutely legendary.
No matter how many times you beat him, he keeps coming back. No matter what timeline you're in, no matter what age it is, he finds a way of coming back.
I mean, he came back in Wind Waker. He came back in Breath of the Wild. He's everywhere. Twilight Princess, which I never got through, and I'm really disappointed. There's only a handful of games that he's not in.
Yeah,
like maybe 2 or 3.
And they're also like in between things, like the smaller games. So
yeah, Minish Cap. I don't think he's in Minish Cap.
Right. So seems like in a lot of the handheld he's missing.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, the big baddie from Zelda have been there from the beginning, and
he wasn't in Zelda 2.
That's right. He wasn't in Adventure of Link because they were trying to revive him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ganon.
All right. This one's gonna throw you off. Lotso Huggenbear from Toy Story 3. This guy was evil.
He was.
He was just plain evil and mean. Like, he's a soft teddy bear looking thing who gets. Like all toys, get abandoned by his owner and wants revenge on the world. He was just mean. Like
he was.
What he did to to Buzz, resetting him, making him become Latino.
No, that was because he got hit. Lotso just made him his minion.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. When they're in the incinerator, he just lets him go. He was a good villain. I liked him as a villain. I just thought he was really mean for a kid's movie.
Yeah, I considered Lotso, but I ended up not being able to fit him in.
Okay.
All right. I'm pretty sure you won't have Lord Zed.
No, I don't have Lord Zed.
Lord Zed from Power Rangers. He was Rita's boss. You know, I know Dark Spectre was for the big villain for Zordon era that everyone kind of took their orders from, but I just love Lord Zed. You know, I like his design. I like his demeanor. He didn't. I think Rita had the best monsters. Whereas Zed I didn't really care for, but I liked Zed as a villain better than Rita. And of course, she comes back and they get married, and then I kind of changed him. Whereas before he was kind of this dark, brooding, real threat, and then he becomes a more comic relief. But I really like Lord Zed. He was the first American art enemy. He wasn't from Sentai.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas so this is where you started them trying to just make Power Rangers kind of their own thing instead of just dubbing footage from Sentai.
Yeah.
And this is how they kind of developed. So Lord Zed kind of an important point in Power Rangers history, and yeah, I just like him. Again, I think if he had Lord Zed commanding Rita's monsters, I would probably be with the original dinosaurs. I probably would have had a perfect Power Ranger season in my book.
All right, I like it. Another random one that you probably won't have is I have King Ghidorah from Godzilla.
I don't have King Ghidorah.
I have King Ghidorah from Godzilla. After we saw the Godzilla movie, the King of the Monsters one, I loved it. I like King Ghidorah. He's a cool type villain. He's cool looking. again, he's an alien. He's not from Earth like the rest of the monsters are, like Rodan or Mothra, which wow, so awesome. That movie was just awesome. Godzilla just turns into a complete beast and just kills Ghidorah. Again, that line, "Long live the king."
Yes.
One of the greatest lines in movie history, obviously. I liked it. I like Ghidorah. Multiple heads, this 3-headed dragon thing. I like dragons. I just thought he was cool. I just thought he was really, really cool.
All right, it's been a while since we've had a Marvel villain, so do you have Doctor Doom?
No.
Okay.
I do not have Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom is not only the Fantastic Four villain, he might very well be the Marvel villain.
The only ones I have left are actually DC villains.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. I have a couple more Marvel villains, so I'll use them to balance out your DC ones.
All right, perfect.
Okay, so yeah, Doctor Doom, super intelligent, so he's an evil genius. Not only that, he's also skilled in the mystic arts like Doctor Strange, so he has that threat for him too. The guy has his own working time machine.
Yeah.
That he uses to go into the past and gain power and knowledge from that. I mean, intelligent, master mystic arts, technological genius, everything his suit can do, all the power he has there. He was the ruler of his own country for a time.
Yeah.
I mean, so the political power that he wields, his minions, the Doombots, they're so lifelike and real that even Ray Richards gets fooled by them. Yeah. So love Doctor Doom.
I hope they incorporate him in the Phase 4.
Me too.
I really hope they do. All right. Before I do my DC villains, I have Owen Shaw from Fast and Furious. I know you're not into that whole movie. I got into that franchise because of Tony. Shout out to my boy Tony. He was a cool villain. Like there wasn't so much a villain in like the first 4 movies, and then Deckard Shaw comes in Fast and Furious 6, and then Furious 7. Owen Shaw, he is just a complete G. He takes down The Rock. Goes one-on-one with Vin Diesel a couple of times, and now he's coming out with this new movie, Hobbs and Shaw, which he kind of turned the tide. It wasn't his choice, but he was kind of forced in Furious 8 to work with The Rock. But he's like the villain of the Fast and Furious. If he's the first villain that I think of when you ask me about Fast and Furious movies. So Owen Shaw from Fast and Furious.
Okay. All right. Perhaps the biggest villain here in terms of size, Galactus.
I do not have Galactus.
Yes. Silver Surfer's former master and archenemy. I mean, what's not to love about Galactus? I mean, he's basically a god. I mean, he's one of the major forces of the universe. He has to keep it in balance, sort of like Beerus does.
Yeah.
He eats planets. He eats freaking planets. We know he doesn't exactly get big and eat them physically, but he converts all the life on the planet into energy and absorbs the energy. So yeah, he consumes entire planets. He might have killed more species than Frieza.
Yeah, no kidding. I just wish they had done his rendition better in Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, like kind of went with the ultimate Marvel version of him for their inspiration for that, and it just.
It didn't work.
Yeah, not a fan of the Galactus is a big cloud thing. I prefer Earth 616 Galactus and ways been pretty much every other adaptation.
My dinner is shift. Like cartoon.
Yes. Oh man, and he's older than the current universe itself. He was just the last survivor from the universe that existed before the current one.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically, with all the knowledge he's gained, he's basically omniscient. And with the power of Cosmic, he can do pretty much anything. He basically has all the power of the Infinity Gauntlet without needing any of the Infinity Gems or Stones, whichever reality we're talking about here.
Mm.
So, yeah, he's basically a god in interplanetary threats. He's like the big bad guy of the Marvel Universe.
If literally.
Yeah, I guess if you can make any criticism about my inclusion, would be that because he is that way, he's beyond our traditional concepts of good and evil, and because he's a necessary force to keep balancing the universe, he's not really a true villain. But if you're a person whose planet's been consumed by him, you're not going to think that way. So
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I have Galactus.
All right. So for my first DC villain, I love, you know how I love Teen Titans growing up.
Mhm.
It's got to be Deathstroke.
Okay.
Deathstroke is one of my favorite villains ever. Slade Wilson. He's just awesome. I'm so excited for the anti-Justice League or whatever they are.
The Legion of Doom.
Yes, Legion of Doom. Thank you. I'm way more into Marvel, but I like Deathstroke. I've always thought he was cool. The mask with the half, the eye. He was so fun to play with in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Robin's biggest adversary. He is Robin's villain.
Mm.
Like he in the show, he becomes his apprentice. He takes him one-on-one a couple different times. He is a dust to Robin. He haunts Robin. He's the big baddie to the Teen Titans until Trigon comes along.
Mm.
I mean, he eventually also works for Trigon and then helps take him down. But Slade is like the guy for the Teen Titans. He came back in one of the movies. I can't remember which one. I was watching on Hulu for a bit. But he is one of the guys for the Teen Titans.
All right. Wasn't on my list, but I can see why you put him on there. I consider him an honorable mention for sure. Okay, let's see. The Mandarin from Iron Man. Okay, first things first. Remember, we're talking about these ones across the different realities. So I'm not just talking about Trevor Slattery, the actor, right?
Yeah.
I'm including the other Mandarins as well. The Mandarin from Earth 616, regular mainstream comics, as well as from the animated series from the 90s. He's a real threat. With the 10 rings and all the various powers that those have, he's a real planetary threat. He's absolutely a worthy adversary for Iron Man and for Force Works. He's pretty powerful. He has plenty of minions under him. He's an actual threat, and I hope we get to see a real Mandarin in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that movie.
Mm-hmm. Because I have to admit, when I first saw the first Iron Man, I saw the 10 rings on a flag, and I thought, oh, okay, so Ross is going to end up becoming the Mandarin. And turns out he wasn't. he got killed by Ironmonger, and Ironmonger was the villain for that movie.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm still open for a proper Mandarin in MCU to match the awesome Mandarin from Earth 616 and all his other incarnations.
All right, awesome. All right, so this is the last one on my list. I don't know how many you have left. The main DC guy. It's the Joker. The Joker is like the main. If you think about DC, he's one of the first people you think of.
Certainly the first Batman villain.
Definitely. He's insane. He is like clinically insane, off the wall. He's awesome. Heath Ledger, rest his soul, was a phenomenal Joker in that movie. Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely up there. He, no matter how many times you kill him, he comes back. He's one of those people that won't die. Batman's greatest adversary. He is perfect for the Mortal Kombat games. He's just awesome. I love the Joker. Love him.
He killed Robin.
He did kill Robin. Brutally,
yeah. He beat him to a pulp and then blew him up with an explosive device.
And then he came back as Red Skull.
Red Hood.
I'm sorry, Red Hood. Red Skull's Marvel.
Yes, and let's not forget the Batman animated series, he was voiced by Mark Hamill, so that's another point in his favor.
That is another point in his favor. It's just the greatest. I love the Joker. I'm not a big DC guy, but I love the Joker.
All right, let's see. I do have a couple more that we haven't gone through. Red Skull.
Red Skull's cool. I like the Red Skull. Red Skull.
Yeah. The antithesis of Captain America. Nazi super scientist, founder of Hydra, German war criminal, and of course, the threat of Hydra lingers long after the war is over. And I know he's only there for basically one movie in MCU, and then it's just kind of watched over the Soul Stone. But OG Red Skull was a major threat.
I liked how they brought him back in Infinity War. I don't think anybody was expecting that.
I certainly wasn't.
I wasn't either.
But yes, the evil super Nazi with all his advanced weaponry and everything. I really thought he was great in the first Avenger, great adversary. really showed how big a threat he was.
Yeah. And I like Captain America. He's probably my favorite Avenger.
Mhm.
One of my favorite Avengers. Him and Thor.
Yeah, and again, in the comics, even bigger history and bigger threat. So, yeah, Nazis are bad,
Nazis are bad.
and they do make good villains because Nazis are bad.
Yeah.
That's why the World War II was the golden age of comic books, because all the superheroes were fighting Nazis so much.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. I have a couple more. Let's see. Logan.
Yeah, my list is done.
Okay, I do have one more.
Okay.
Khan Noonien Singh from Star Trek.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can get behind that.
Because, well, let's see. Original Khan, Ricardo Montalban, basically causes the death of Spock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the Space Seed from the original series, that episode, one of my favorite Star Trek episodes ever. Khan's a great villain. The Wrath of Khan, probably my favorite Star Trek movie, because he's such a great villain. And then, of course, Kelvin Timeline Khan, responsible for the death of Kirk, because Kirk and Spock switch roles in that movie.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's very intelligent, very cunning, also physically powerful. And, of course, we know from his history, he was a 20th century warlord who was a big player in the eugenics wars. Was, of course, sent on the Botany Bay into space, and that's where he was basically cryogenically frozen and found by the crew later on in the 23rd century and it marooned on SETI Alpha 5. Then after its son went nova or whatever happened, became an uninhabitable planet, plotting his revenge the whole time. Quotes Moby Dick.
Right.
Yes. So, yeah, fantastic villain.
I didn't even consider that.
Yep. All right, should we do our honorable mentions?
We have honorable mentions?
I didn't write any down, but we can do honorable mentions.
Okay. I didn't write it down either.
Yeah.
I would probably... We already talked about Loki. Maybe... I would say Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I like Shang Tsung. Steal Your Soul. Very first Mortal Kombat villain.
Yep.
Sorcerer. So powerful. So powerful. I was really like Shang Tsung. He's my favorite character to play with in Mortal Kombat 11. His moveset is outstanding. He's played by the original actor from the movie, so that's just bonus points.
Especially because that actor is now Orthodox.
Yes.
All right. My honorable mention. Make honorable mention to the rest of Spider-Man's main villains, because Spider-Man has the best rogues gallery in all of comics, and there's so many great villains that I had to choose between Goblin over the others for reasons to mention, but love you Doc Ock, love you Venom, Vulture, Shocker, Rhino, Chameleon, Kraven, Kingpin, all you guys, just excellent rogue gallery. Can't forget you, Carnage, Sandman, Electro, all you guys. You really are great foils for our favorite webhead.
There we go.
What else?
I do have. He's not so much a villain or a hero. I gotta talk about Deadpool. I love Deadpool. He is awesome.
Well, you had Slade Wilson, might as well throw in Wade Wilson.
Exactly. Right? I love Deadpool. He's so funny. He's the merc with a mouth.
Yep.
He's just. I wouldn't really consider him a villain, but I had to put him on here. I absolutely love him.
Okay. Honorable mentions for other X-Men villains like Mr. Sinister, Apocalypse, Juggernaut, Sabretooth. Again, love my X-Men villains as well. Magneto's number one to me, but love the rest of them too.
Okay. My honorable mentions for Dragon Ball. Cell, Majin Buu, Kid Buu, Super Buu, Kid Buu. I guess you could put Jiren in there. The androids. Baby, definitely. I forgot about Baby. They're all good. Like, I can't really say much about GT.
Yeah.
Other than Baby. Baby was like the main villain in GT, and I already went over Omega Shenron. So.
And then we have great movie villains like Cooler, Non-Canon Broly, BoJack. And we can't forget the most powerful villain ever, Raditz.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we all make fun of Raditz, but at the time he was a powerful adversary, and it's the reason Goku died. So
yeah.
And series really takes a turn when Raditz shows up. So much as we like to make
It's
fun of
like
him for being
for being so weak.
Yeah.
I actually saw a comment on YouTube today when I was watching a Goku versus Jiren fight. It's like, it's crazy how Goku goes from not being able to beat Raditz to just completely obliterate Jiren.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Any more?
Yeah, it has honorable mentions to I know I didn't have any DC villains, but shout out to Batman's villains because those guys are the best DC Rogues Gallery. Perhaps they really rival Spider-Man's villains for title of best group of villains in comic history.
So like the Suicide Squad and all that stuff.
And yeah, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Clayface, Riddler, Two-Face, Ra's al Ghul, all of them. Mad Hatter, Man-Bat. Lots of great villains in Batman.
Ooh, I have an honorable mention. Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
You can't forget about this guy. This guy was awesome. He had maybe 2 lines in all of Phantom Menace.
I think I counted once and it was like 4.
He didn't have to talk. He was just awesome. The only guy to ever kill Liam Neeson on screen. Just one of the coolest looking villains too. First time we ever saw a double-edged lightsaber. That was awesome to see. Yeah,
that fight was amazing choreographed. People hate the Phantom Menace, but that lightsaber scene was one of the best lightsaber fights ever.
That and Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith was definitely the most emotional.
Yes,
between Anakin and Obi. But Darth Maul, definitely an honorable mention.
I'll mention to other Digimon villains like Devimon, Edamon, Dark Masters, Baklamon, Ken when he was evil as the Digimon Emperor, Oikawa, Arukenimon, Moimon, Daemon, all good Digimon baddies.
Yeah, I liked it. That was one of my favorites growing up. First 2 seasons.
Yeah. Adventure and Adventure 02.
Yep. Pokemon? Any Pokemon you can think of? Any Gary? Or Blue?
I wouldn't consider him a true villain.
No?
Maybe Giovanni, especially in the games.
Yeah. I think I'm good.
Who else do I want to mention? There are other good Fantastic Four villains: Blastara, Nihilus, Mole-Man, Psycho Man, Super Skrull, the Frightful Four. Lots of good villains from Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four are great. It's just too bad that nobody thinks they are because they haven't been able to get a decent movie out of it. But seriously, watch the second season of Fantastic Four animated series from the 90s. Awesome.
Oh, Steppenwolf from DC.
From
the Justice League.
From the Justice League.
He was awesome. I like how he was portrayed in the Justice League movie, despite it not being all that great. I really like Steppenwolf. So he was an original villain who we haven't seen. It wasn't my favorite movie, but I liked Steppenwolf. Okay,
playing off that, I'll go with his Uncle Darkseid.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the Thanos of DC, but way stronger.
Oh yeah.
Even Superman has trouble with this guy, so
yeah,
he's powerful.
And Doomsday. Doomsday's the only person to ever kill Superman.
Yeah, Doomsday did kill Superman. He's basically a mutant Superman, but it's still a pretty impressive achievement to kill the Man of Steel.
Oh, I have one that I actually had on my list, which may come as a shock to you, but Hans from Frozen. This guy was a jerk. Hans was just a jerk.
Yeah, I was gonna do on a bunch of my other Disney villains, and Hans was definitely gonna be one of them. Yeah, I knew I had to for a little bit, and I was debating between Scar, Hans, Jafar. I love them all, but I had to go with Scar.
I was gonna go with Scar. I went with Scar because I love The Lion King. It's one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite Disney movies.
Yeah, I consider Hans to be the stealthiest Disney villain because I really did not see it coming. I was legitimately shocked when I watched that movie in the theater, and I said, "Oh, if only there was someone out there who lived it." What? Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I really felt that.
It's like a slap in the face.
Yeah, so I agree. Hans is definitely a snake, and it's probably one of the reasons I love that movie so much because he was such a great villain. So, yeah, definitely Hans. I mentioned Jafar. We all love Aladdin. Jafar's a great villain, especially when he comes to the most powerful sorcerer in the world.
He's a lot of gray area in that.
Yeah, he's basically on power-wise with Maleficent,
Mm.
another great Disney villain. I mean, there's a reason she was the leader of the villains in Kingdom Hearts. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
amazing how much power she had. Probably the most powerful Disney villain ever.
One more honorable mention I want to do is Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
He was there from movie 1. Harry's rival, just from Slytherin house. Go Slytherin.
Team Ravenclaw.
Just an awesome, cool kid. I liked him throughout all the movies. So,
some other good Marvel villains. He's mostly I remember from Iron Man series. They were working for Mandarin, so MODOK, Blacklash,
Ultron. I liked
Ultron. Yeah, from
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. Great villain. I know people hate on that movie, but I like it.
I liked that movie. I thought it was cool. It had a lot of like previews,
Yeah.
or I guess foreshadowing.
Yeah, this even though we record this before MCU one, it's not airing until after it, so you guys already know what we thought of it from our MCU review. So, okay. Again, lots of great badges out there. I know I'm forgetting some. As once we're done with this, I know I'm going to think of more. But villains who love to hate. Perhaps next time we'll do villains that are just terrible and suck as villains. I can think of some for that.
All right.
So go ahead, like, subscribe, ring the bell, share, check out Tanner's other channel that he plays with Deshaun, and we'll see you guys next time.
Laters.